Welcome to Open Tabs, our weekly dive into the cultural news and stories that are taking up space in our brains and Google Tabs. So, hi, Megan. Thank you for me today. Just Megan and I this week. Melissa is off working, doing fun things. But we have a lot to cover today. So let's dive into it. Okay, the first bit of news I wanted to talk to you about, Megan, is
Mhm.
this Work magazine piece. With AI, anyone can be an influencer. And it's basically a profile of this 45-year-old woman in Georgia. She's a homemaker, stay at home mom. And she wanted to get into influencing. And she thought the best bet was to build an AI avatar of like a younger woman. Um, and she's not alone. There is a Facebook group with over 300,000 members, mostly women, who are doing exactly this. They're either augmenting themselves with AI and presenting this like augmented version of themselves online, or they're creating like these entirely new AI avatars in an effort to like build platforms. And they really want to be like influencers and get influencer money. Um, it's very interesting. I recommend you guys read the article if you haven't. I'll plug it in the show notes when we post this live. But yeah, and I want to talk to you, Megan, because like, yes, AI influencers are more like prevalent now, but it's not really anything new.
Yeah.
And this article reminded me, I don't know if anyone else remembers Lil Michaela. Um,
Mhm.
first AI influencer from 2016. Um, she blew up. I think there was a specific person behind her account, but I think it was then
It was an
acquired.
agency called, I
Yeah.
believe, Brood, Brud,
Yeah.
Brut. One of the
Mhm.
yeah. I wrote about
And
this a lot back when it was first happening.
it was very big news. She was
Mhm.
everywhere in
Yeah.
2016. Her Instagram account has over 2 million followers. She did brand deals with like Prada. She made out with Bella Hadid in a Calvin Klein commercial. She was everywhere, and now she's kind of nowhere, um, or at least she's not as revolutionary as she was
Mhm.
10 years
Or
ago.
as relevant, I think.
Yeah, I think it's like they're trying to make her like a musician. Um,
Of course.
and yeah, so she's an AI singer songwriter. And I mean, I think she posted her Spotify stats. I think she had like 2 million views and listens on Spotify, but it's all very AI. And if you scroll through her account, it's all like other bots, like obvious bots in her comments. But Megan, do you have any thoughts on like the surge of fake AI content creators?
I think my same opinion on AI holds. Like, it's here whether or not we like it. So, like, it's really my first instinct just to be like, "Is this good? Is this bad? Do we like it? Do we not?"
Mm,
It's like, it's just here. Whether or not I like it, it's, like, here. But I do think that this idea that there's 2 different ideas happening of, like, with AI, anyone can become an influencer and, like, augmentation of the self, I feel like is one thing versus, like, Lil Michaela and making up an entire self is another thing.
mm,
And I think that augmentation of the self, that's yes, for sure. That is definitely something that AI is going to help people do and already has. Like, even on TikTok, it's like pretty common to be like a lemon. Like, people just be like a lemon and like their eyes in their mouth and they'll like tell secrets on burner accounts. So like the idea that you would like want some sort of like anonymity online and like use AI to do that is not new. I think that we know also though that like content with faces in it does the best. Like, people want to connect with other people. They don't want to connect with the idea of someone, which is kind
mm,
of what Lil Michaela is, the idea of a person. And so while I think that this is possible to create the content, it's not possible to create the connection. that you are creating with a human with an AI generated influencer. An AI augmented real person,
Mhm.
that is way more interesting, and, like, I'm interested in the ways that, like, that's going to happen, but the idea of, like, a brand can make an army of influencers to shill for them, it's just not gonna happen.
In our pre-call, in our prep call for this call, we also talked a little bit about like AI makes theft easier. One story highlighted in the New Yorker article is a New York based influencer named Tatiana Elizabeth discovered that this other content creator was pulling her photos from her Instagram and using AI to swap her face in. So this woman was taking Tatiana's photos, putting her own face on them, and then posting them as if they were her own. And when she got called out for it, she said it was a third party AI content agency that she had hired who did this, and it was just an oversight, and she apologized. But I just think this is like the tip of the iceberg for that
Totally.
sort of thing.
Yeah, and I think consistently we see that all of the successful use cases of AI are really just taking something that's already existed and using AI to reconfigure that thing and then take it in as a net new thing when it's like, no, you just remix something that was already successful, used AI as kind of like a black box to wash away any copyright like claims and then produced it as if it were something new that you can now claim as your own creativity, but it's just simply not.
Yeah, it's I don't know if you like caught the TikTok AI story over the
Oh, yeah.
weekend.
Yes.
So
I,
if you
like, saw that this like, I post on TikTok a lot, so
yeah,
I saw the thing and I was like, when did this get here?"
I know it's like very odd. If you don't know, pull it up. Um TikTok, like, very quietly I think maybe, Megan, was it, like, a push notification you saw about this?
It was just there in the app, when you go to upload a video. I believe it was Friday-ish. There was a thing toggled on of, like, remix. There's all these permissions when you upload content of, like,
Mhm.
can remix this, people can duet this, people can download this that you can turn on or off. And there was one that was like, can be used for AI or like something like that. And it was just there. And I turned it off when I posted the video I posted. But then I found out that they added this to all of the content and you have to individually go and turn off each video. It doesn't let you master turn off the setting.
Really? That's so interesting. So if you don't know, they're calling it, like, AI remix, I think, and it's basically, like, letting, like, what is AI remixing? It's linked to a test feature that TikTok is experimenting with called Meme Remixer. It's only being rolled out in, like, batches of users. So, Megan, you were one of their
Totally
first.
thing.
Um, and it's
They're trying to steal my identity
yeah,
specifically.
Meme Remixer worked by allowing a user to take a still image from a video and create a meme that they can then, like, post as their own. So, basically, like, I guess letting TikTok, like, remix your content for other people to use. And
Greenlit. Like, it's literally like, "Let us put words in your mouth?" Like, that's insane.
I know. It's, like, very uncomfy. I'm not on TikTok, posting on TikTok like you are, Megan, but I just think, like, it's very weird that, like, users kind of had to, like, find this out themselves, like you said, when they were posting. And, I mean, I do post to TikTok occasionally, and there are so many, like, permissions and, like, toggles you have to do when posting. Sometimes I just like, "Yeah, sure." Like,
Yeah.
yes, whatever. And yeah, I feel like TikTok, I mean, I guess it's like almost it's so ubiquitous now that like they know even if they like release this feature and it like rightfully pisses content creators off, it's like, well, they're not gonna like not. post to TikTok. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I also think it's ironic that we were like TikTok was forced to be sold to an American company for privacy reasons. And now they're like, which we all knew it was like, if anyone's going to steal their data, it's going to be us, not China. But I much preferred when China had my data. I felt less exploited.
but yeah, it'll like this just happened. I think they did it over the weekend too, which age old tactic. People aren't as like tapped into developing news. But yeah, I think this is like really interesting. It also just, I saw a headline from NBC that Taylor Swift just trademarked her image, her likeness, her voice to prevent AI deepfakes. And I feel like she's often like on the cutting edge of like these things.
And what I think is
So,
interesting there and what
mm,
I kind of see happening is this isn't going to prevent it happening. Like it's already happening with Taylor Swift. People have already taken her image and likeness to create AI deepfakes. What it's going to do is create a liability structure to when it happens, somebody is held fiscally responsible so that if Taylor Swift finds a deepfake of herself that she doesn't like on YouTube, she can sue YouTube specifically. So even like this, it's like the cat's out of the bag. Like this content can get created. It's just a matter of like the rules around monetizing it and housing it on the platforms and like what can happen there. Even like with this AI thing on TikTok, there is a contingent of people who are like, start using the feature to remix Disney stuff. They'll shut it down right away. And so there's kind of this like weaponization of liability taking place
mhm.
that I think is very interesting to watch of like it's kind of mirroring the social media addiction thing where it's like, okay, but who's responsible for
Yeah,
it, you know?
interesting. I love that people are looking to use this, weaponize this against corporations. I'm sure if that actually happens, one day you'll log in and it'll just be gone.
Exactly. Yeah. It might already like by the time you get off this call, like it,
Yeah.
because like Disney is very serious about their copyright. And that's happened before with I forget which AI system, but they had to be shut down because they were being sued by Disney. So
Mm, oh, yeah. I'll have to include that in the call notes. I can't remember, either, but yeah, interesting. And just be wary. I think it's interesting, like this new generation of AI influencers. Back when Lil Michaela was on the rise 10 years ago, it was like the novelty was that she was AI, and like that's what got people to follow her.
yeah.
Now it's like you don't want to be like we're not disclosing we're AI, we're doing it, behind the scenes in secret because there's such a backlash. The tides have turned.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll keep tracking how this affects content creators. Okay. Next story that I want to cover, Megan, you sent this in. So it's kind of like an overall theme that we've talked about for like the past year, the rise of everything apps. And in the newest iteration of that, Peloton and Spotify have partnered up to offer 10 to 15-minute fitness videos on the Spotify platform. So Spotify has like been dipping their toes into video content like vodcasts. You can now watch like Call Her Daddy, the vodcast on Spotify. You don't need to go to YouTube to do that. I think they've also included like music videos that you can watch on the Spotify platform. And it's interesting that now it's fitness and that they're partnering with Peloton. But they have a library. If you have Spotify Premium, you should now have a fitness section on your app and a library of content with like popular fitness creators like Chloe Ting, Yoga with Cassandra. Um, and I don't know how you feel about this, Megan, but like this is like, oh, they're coming for YouTube like hardcore with this.
Yeah, for sure. Do you watch any fitness content? Is this part of your what do you do if you don't mind
I
sharing?
No, I don't mind at all. I prefer in-person workout classes. Like if I have a gym membership and it's like I'm holding myself accountable, I will
Yeah.
work out. So I prefer the like camaraderie of in-person classes, but if I can't make it, I like Pilates with Nikki.
Okay.
Um, she's
Oh,
really good. She's Australian. She has millions of followers. And during COVID and during lockdown, I was like hardcore into Chloe Ting.
me too. We probably talked about this then.
You probably did. Me and my sister both were. And like I can still like dun 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 dun.
Every now and then, when I'm like in the mood to do like a hard workout, I'm like,
Yeah,
try her some Chloe Ting. Found out she had a BBL though, and I was a little
I know. I was
like, yeah,
oh,
I guess I shouldn't
so I know, but I'm like, oh, so like your hit classes didn't achieve. It felt like an AI betrayal a little bit.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I definitely think that Spotify is coming for YouTube, but I think just in general, all of the video apps are looking to eat some of YouTube's lunch and figure out how they can get in there. And when it comes to fitness, something that I've always found interesting is like the rewatch factor of like when you're
Mhm,
doing a Chloe Ting circuit. So the way it would work is Chloe Ting would say, all right, guys, we're going to get abs in 3 weeks. So here's the routine. And she would on her website put like a workout regimen. And then
mhm.
there was videos attached. But like you would do the same video day over day. And then sometimes there would be an additional video to
Yeah.
do. So that would mean like if you're doing Chloe Ting, that's guaranteed 21 videos she has you watching and then she would get people to sign up. And then that content can continue to be used over and over and over. And it's like evergreen. So I think it's really smart to go with fitness because it's content with a long shelf life and
Mhm,
it's rewatched a lot, kind of like how songs are, where it's like you make a playlist, like you make a fitness playlist. Like this makes a lot of sense to me. Whereas a lot of times I'm like, why? This partnership is like out of nowhere. But where I think this is misguided is that there's no Spotify value add that I've seen communicated, and I think it would be what we were discussing is the discovery element of, like, what do you want out of a workout class, and, like, how can Spotify uniquely give you the thing that you're looking for right now? And because, like, I don't have a problem as a consumer of finding these videos. I know where they exist and I know where they live. The problem is getting matched with the right video at the right time without having to do all the digging and like
mhm,
figure out like who's doing a good Pilates right now. So I think I would be more excited about this if it was paired with some of the really great UX UI that Spotify is known for of like helping you discover your fitness journey and
mhm.
more about that than just like we have the content now because okay, so what?
Yeah, I think, that was kind of my thought. I was like, "Well, I already have my, like, YouTube routine when it comes to, like, I wanna watch a fit workout video.
Yeah.
Why would I recreate that journey or, like, restart that journey on Spotify?" And
Yeah.
also, like, I'm logged into Spotify on my phone. I don't use it on my laptop. Am I gonna I'm my screen is too tiny for me to, like, actually see the workout moves on
Mhm.
my cell phone.
Yeah.
Just and I also think since it's, like, a limited batch, yes, these creators are very popular, but, like, why would I go to Spotify to, like, watch content from these 10 creators when I can go to YouTube where there is an unlimited basically unlimited amount of fitness creators, and like you said, I know exactly what routine I should be following with their videos.
Yeah.
Um, it's also, like, sometimes I discovered Pilates by Nikki or with Nikki, because I looked up Pilates on YouTube and I was like, "Who has the most views?" And I saw she did, and I was like I saw scrolled through the comments, I was like, "Okay, people really like these. She's obviously working. It's working for a lot of people.
Mhm.
Let me do that."
Yeah. 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 So I think we're kind of in agreement of like, why not do this? Because it's like, sure, but also like they're not adding anything that we're not getting elsewhere. Like, and that's important if you want to encourage a new behavior on your platform.
What is there like another avenue you think they should have gone other than fitness or if they want to get those video views?
I don't know. I feel like I would start with user behavior on the app and expand it versus trying to capture a user behavior that's happening elsewhere and capture it. So like I think they were doing good stuff with like the music videos where like
Mhm.
Taylor Swift had a music video where it was like not on YouTube. So like I watched it
Yeah.
on Spotify. Olivia Rodrigo did exclusives where she has the main video on YouTube, but then there was another video on Spotify exclusive and another video on Apple Music exclusive. So I think exclusive content would be good, because it kind of like exclusive music content because it's within the same realm of what you're already on the platform to do. I also am like, what about podcasts? Like you guys were doing podcasts and like that's a whole thing. Where's is that to me it's like, is that not working if you're doing fitness now? Like what's happening there? And I worry that Spotify is gonna go down the Instagram thing where they're just gonna start throwing spaghetti at the wall anytime something new becomes trendy and popular. And then I'm going to start to distrust them as a platform to where I don't want to try your new features because they're probably going to be gone in 6 months and I don't want to fall in love with them.
Yeah, it's interesting. In the article, which I will hyperlink when this is posted on Friday, they say, well, people already have so many workout like playlists, music playlists on Spotify. So this is just like an extent. They're already using us. We're part of their fitness journey already. So like we just expanded that with these videos. I'm like, well, it's very different. Like my running playlist that I have on my Spotify. It's very different me pulling that up and running around the block or like lifting weights or whatever I'm doing than like pulling up a Chloe Ting video
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Spotify, you know?
You're so right. I was thinking when you said that, I have a Hot Girl Walk playlist, and that's
Mhm,
my Spotify/exercise interaction. But like, how would I that's where I would start if I was at Spotify and brainstorming. It's like, okay, we know they have this habit of listening to us while they do cardio. How can
mhm.
we expand that to video? But they started with video, you know?
I feel like it would have made sense for them to like do something with like Strava or thing like that.
You're so
There's
right.
an audio component to it. It's helping people with their cardio. I know Peloton, I think, also does like running, like stuff
Mhm.
with running, but I feel like they're mostly known for like their Pilates and yoga and obviously
Yeah.
stationary bikes.
It's also that makes me think of and you pulled Fluently Forward, and her
Yeah.
TikTok here, but in that TikTok that I also watched, she mentioned that she's like, "I already get Spotify free through my credit card," and she is like, "You can also get it this way." Or no, sorry, not Spotify, Peloton.
Mhm.
Peloton free through my credit card. You can also get it this way. It seems like there's a lot of ways to get Peloton free these days. So that was also interesting to me of like, this might just be Peloton being like, "We have this library of content. We need some cash. Can we get some money for this, please, Spotify?"
I know. I feel like this is also maybe for Peloton, their way of like trying to break into Gen Z, which is
Mm,
like very, I mean, we were all, doing Chloe Ting during the pandemic and like it's very like Gen Z is obviously a very aesthetics forward generation and Pilates and like Pilates princess is like a real identity for a lot of Gen Zers. I'll notice like in those stupid pop the balloon videos that I get clips of on TikTok, they'll ask a lot of the women what their hobbies are, and a lot of them will say Pilates, which
interesting.
is so interesting to think of like Pilates as a hobby. And I
I
think
also
a lot of
there's so much we can unpack there about, like, what you're
no,
advocating when you are asked what your hobbies are and you say Pilates.
especially in a dating
Yes.
setting.
Yeah,
Um,
those are really
um, but I think uh, it's like communicates something about
Yeah,
you. Like, and I think that's why they're pushing the Pilates of this so hard. Like, even the article, it's like Pilates, Peloton Pilates. And then you read it and it's like a bunch of other
yeah.
workouts, but they're marketing it with Pilates. Um,
So even
and
that, I would say that makes sense. But then what cultural cachet are you getting from doing your Pilates on Spotify? Because if you're doing it in
Mhm.
real life, you get the cultural cachet of putting on the outfit, going, taking your mirror selfie, and like, I do Pilates. What are you getting to show off? Like, or even just feel, I did that from Spotify. You know what I like? It not
Yeah. No, you're
I feel like
totally right.
that's
It's
kind of what their role is, not to give you the content, but to like give you cultural cachet of like, am I gonna get a and is this gonna be in my Wrapped at the end of the year where it's gonna be like, "You are a Pilates princess because you did Pilates 100 times? Because that might be something I'd be more interested in, you know?
Yeah, I think that's the only, like, cachet playoff you would get is in Spotify Wrapped, but do people wanna wait an entire year for that? And you're totally right. I feel like that just unlocked it for me of, like, why Gen Z considers Pilates a hobby, where I feel like previous generations would not, is because they've made, like, a lifestyle out of it. Like you were saying, showing up to the class, like, with your pink Pilates set and getting a matcha afterwards.
I was just saying that you gotta go get your matcha.
You get your matcha. It turned it into an entire lifestyle.
And then you got your TikTok or your post Pilates thoughts while you're holding your matcha. I
Yeah.
just came from Pilates and I was thinking.
Mhm. And yeah, it's, really interesting. I feel like, I mean, if we're met like social media workouts, Tracy Anderson, like if there will be a Spotify X Tracy Anderson collab.
Yeah, I think you're right. They need to figure out what is the payoff, like, that you're gonna go post to your story, and maybe there is one. I haven't done a Spotify workout, so maybe I'll have to try it and see
I
because
know.
I'm thinking about Strava and how I haven't used it, but I see so much Strava content that it's, like, clearly they give you, like, some sort of feature in the app to make content showing off how much you
It's, actually probably largely inspired by Spotify Wrapped. They give you, like, basically a data breakdown of your run, and it's very easy. You can just, like, share to Instagram
Yeah.
stories.
I also
There's
have another friend who he always posts his Apple workouts, and, like, I don't
Mhm.
know how he does it, but he always posts, like, a picture, it's clearly from the Apple app of, like, what he did, and so, like, people wanna post their gym selfie. What is the gym selfie of doing a Spotify workout? I don't and that's what they need to crack, and that's what they needed to lead with, not, "We have all this Peloton content," you know?
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. So we'll be watching. I'll do a Spotify fitness video and let you guys know how it
I'll
goes.
scrub through one. Just do that. I'll do it on a walk, so I won't fully be eating.
Yeah, you'll use it for your cardio. Um,
Mhm.
okay, guys. So our final topic, we're going to talk about it here live for all of our live listeners. But when this goes up on Friday, it will be behind our Substack paywall. Um, So, our final topic, Adam Mosseri, who is like the head guy at Instagram, just did an Instagram story AMA where he said that Instagram follower count isn't very important anymore. We disagree with this, and we're going to talk about why.